Alright, my son with a nice largemouth here drilled a spinnerbait. We'll take a look at that spinnerbait in a minute. We'll get a picture of him and put him back. How do you hit that, pal?
He just took it and ran away with it.
Took off good, yeah. Thought it was a pike for a minute. Away he goes. Good job, buddy. An 18-incher there. Show us that spinnerbait. It's early June, so we are working near hard bottom areas. We got about 65-degree water temp, so we're working near hard bottom areas where bass would either be spawning or would have spawned. We're doing a few different things: crankbaits, jerkbaits, spinnerbaits. I just caught one on about the same size on a jerkbait, and now that's a Berkeley power bait spinnerbait there. In I forget what they call that color, but it's chartreuse white and blue, and even a little green. All right, we'll go get some more. Hey, just got slammed by a pike here. You can kind of see the weeds we're fishing with the pike here. We're fishing over a little curly leaf too, but where cabbage is, starts right by the hard bottom. Okay, pike. I'm using a white spinnerbait here. It's a Berkeley power bait one again. I love those new Berkeley power bait spinnerbaits, are awesome. I'm using a 7-foot medium heavy power, moderate action St. Croix bait cast rod. Medium heavy power, plenty of power with 14-pound line to get them out of these weeds. Moderate action, softer action as you're pulling that spinnerbait and a fish comes up behind it and tries to inhale it. That softer rod will give a little more, let him get the bait into his mouth before it loads up. You'll miss a lot of fish with a great stiff rod buzzing a spinnerbait like this. Just a Abu Garcia Revo spinning reel. Hey there, another bassy. Keep it behind and push the spinnerbait. They'll do that sometimes. They come shooting up behind it, and you can actually feel that water gets pushed forward. A little male here, and your bait kind of moves and the blade stops spinning. You lose that vibration. Then he came back about 2 seconds later and drilled it this time. You can kind of see in the background, we had a little bit of clouds early, but it's supposed to be a mainly sunny morning here, but we got smoke from Canadian wildfires, so we're going to have kind of hazy sunshine, so that could keep our bite going here. If it gets too bright, then we'll move out on a little deeper on the outside weed edge and try some plastics, but this seems to be where the fish are right now. Hey, got another one here, drilled with spinnerbait. This looks like a decent one. Male, full spawn male. And we're kind of working again right around. We got a hard bottom point. I think there's Sunny staging up on there to bed. Bass probably bedded there. And we're working that and the edge of that and right out into cabbage. A little bit of curly leaves still around. But they seem to be in the leaves close to that edge or just off the edge over the hard bottom is where we're getting everything. Hey, just had on. Drilled the jerk baits here. I've been kind of alternating baits here: spinner baits, jerk baits, wacky rigged Senkos. There's a little grass down there where he dove down after we hit this. Get him off. And I'll take a look at the bait. Jump down really good. Post spawn male, early June. I'll show you the bait here. Get some grass off. This is a Rapala X-Rap. 4-inch size. This one happens to be the purple and white. Also caught a couple on pink and white as well. So it's a neutrally buoyant suspending bait. Reel it down a few cranks, let it sit, give it a little pull. You can work this aggressive. Right now I'm working it fairly unaggressive. Just giving it a soft pull, let it sit, a few seconds, soft pull. But you can work this all the way to jerks, double jerks too as the water gets warmer. Anyway, my son had to stop recording there and set the camera down because he went to the camera and his wacky rigged Senko was still out. Something drilled that. So get him off here. But again, we've definitely got a good post-spawn bass pattern going here. We're gonna try for some panfish in this area too. We got sunnies hitting the jerk baits, tugging at the spinner baits, following them up. So son's had a couple of sunnies tug on that wacky rigged Senko too. All right. There, my son got one, fishing a Senko wacky rigged. How'd he hit that, buddy?
Pretty good.
Pick it up and run with it?
Yeah.
All right, we'll get a picture of him, we'll get him back, and then we'll take a look at the bait he was using and a little more at the area we're in. Good job, buddy. All right, so I'm gonna zoom in there. That's the bait we're using. It's just a kind of a pumpkin seed colored. That's a Senko, Gary Yamamoto Senko brand, but lots of it's called a stickworm. And it's rigged on a 2-aught wacky style hook right through the middle. And he's got, you can see we've got fluorocarbon up to a barrel swivel to the fire line on the main line. He's using a 7-foot 1-inch St. Croix spinning rod with a Fluger President spinning reel, 14-pound fire line. Just pitching that out. What do? You just throw it out?
Let it sink and just lift it up and then drop back.
Okay. And they pick it up somewhere in there and take off with it. Good job, buddy. Hey, got another one here. Actually saw this one hit the jerkbait. I didn't see the fish itself. But that white sides on the jerkbait, I can see the water's fairly clear here. And all of a sudden I saw the jerkbait moving. I paused and the jerkbait was heading off to the left without me reeling. Set the hook on another post-spawn male. Well, we got the video going here. I'll just kind of show you where we're at. You can probably see markers around us. They're marking shallow flat sticking out from those cattails and pencil reeds up there. And that shallow flat, so well, up close too, but anywhere from about 2 to 4 feet. And it's firmer bottom with a little bit of scattered weed. And then right out here, about where we're at, right on the edge, it starts rolling down pretty quick from that 4 feet to more about 8 feet. And the bottom softens up and the cabbage starts growing in there. And what we're hypothesizing, we're getting sunfish tugging up here too, and even fallen baits. What we're thinking is the bass are done spawning, and they spawned in that firmer bottom areas up here. They've moved out into the weed edge now. They're not very far into the weeds, and we're catching mostly post-spawn males, which would be what I would expect around here this time of the year, this wet water temp. And then the sunnies, we think, are starting to get ready to bed up here. They'll bed in some of the same areas the bass did as soon as the bass clear out. So that's what we've got going on here. And then the pike are swimming around in the weeds here too, looking for sunfish. So the sunfish bedding, a really good bedding bite for the sunfish should get started here pretty soon. So jerk baits, spinner baits, and wacky rig Senkos are catching the fish right now. Hey there, switch to a crankbait. Got one on that. Hold over here with all these treble hooks. That post-spawn male. To a shad colored number 7 jointed shad wrap. Running that kind of right where the hard bottom and the weeds switches over to the weeds, and he drilled it first cast with it. Moved to a new spot at the same kind of area, looking for post-spawn bass not far from the bedding grounds. Second cast with spinnerbait, and another post-spawn male, and that white Berkeley Power Bait spinnerbait. Hey, Another one here, just a few casts after that first one. Full spawn male here on that spinnerbait. And we're, again, just in an area near where we got hard bottom, kind of sandy clay bottom where they would bed. And then we're getting out into the cabbage. And some curly leaf still around too. But we're getting out into those first weeds just outside of that. And that seems to be where all these hungry, aggressive males, and we've got them on crankbaits, spinnerbaits, jerkbaits, and wacky rig Senkos now. All right, Parker just got another one here on the wacky rig Senko. You just kind of picked that up and run again. Yeah. Pretty much what we've been catching, all males. But boy, they've just been hitting everything we throw out. Crankbaits, jerkbaits, spinnerbaits, Senkos, you name it, we're getting them out of there, punking everything. Good job, buddy.
Well, we're gonna call it a day here. We lost count, probably a couple dozen largemouth, 4 pike or so. Had some sunfish, follow stuff. We're fishing here. When you get to that mid-60s in the upper Midwest here, the bass should be done spawning. That can be in late May, that can be in early June, just depending on the weather. We've been up and down temperatures this spring. We're in the 70s and 80s, and then we're in the 50s, and we're still getting 40s and even upper 30s sometimes at night, so the water is not warmed up as much as it should be. So we are looking at post-spawn bass here. We caught them on everything. Caught them on wacky rig Senkos like we have here. We caught them on spinnerbaits. We caught them on jerkbaits. We caught them on crankbaits. For the spinnerbaits and the crankbaits, 7-foot moderate action bait cast combos, so that rod will give more for the fish to inhale the baits when they're moving. For the jerkbait, we're using a fast or extra fast action, so you get all the jerk and don't lose anything from the rod bending. And then we're also using fast and moderate fast action, fast and extra fast action spinning combos for the Senko, because again, the bait's loose, it's not tight. They hit it and you can get a good hook set, and that rod doesn't give too much. We caught all our fish in anywhere from about 5 to 8 feet of water. All we did was find the hard bottom areas where the fish would have bedded, and then went to these different baits right on the inside weed edge and just into the weeds a little bit. The cabbage is in good. The milfoil hasn't thickened up much yet because of the water temps, so we had pretty clean cabbage, had some curly leaf left. Most of the fish were just inside that transition from the softer bottom in the weeds to the harder bottom, or just outside it into the weeds, but that's where we caught most of our fish. I'm going to do a quick shout out to some companies here, some new gear. You can see we're in my new Impact. This is a 2025 Lund 1875 Impact XS. Got the jump seats in the back. Some great improvements this year to the boat. 12 rod tubes in the front rod locker. Deeper storage drawers under the consoles, so 3700 series planos will sit in rows upright in there. They made the live well a little bit different, a little bit bigger, and cup holders everywhere, tool holders everywhere. Great job. I got my 150 Pro XS on here. I love those Pro X's, been running them for a while now. And then I went with the Newman Coda Quest trolling motor, the Altera Quest in 36 volt, and that is the quietest, smoothest, longest running trolling motor. Add to that my Amped Outdoors lithium ion battery system in here, two 50 amp 36 volt or 50 amp hour 36 volt batteries put together in series, so I got 36 volts, 100 amp hours to keep us going all day long. And then the charger for that will plug in right in the back here, and the charger for that also has leads to my house, Lynn calls it the house battery system, but a cranking battery, and then a second battery that you could use for cranking but also for the electronics, and all of that on one charger. Lund Mercury Amped Outdoors, thank you. Incredible setup, and keeps that Minn Kota going and keeps those hummingbirds going. For Parker Smutka behind the camera, I'm Troy Smutka. Thanks for joining us for this episode for Post Spawn Bass. We'll hope to see you at our next one. Until then, good luck, and I will see you out there somewhere.